Hello everyone, and welcome to this video, which is in our Engine Snack series, getting to the end of the TCEC League 2. This game is between Koivisto 714 and ClassicAra, played towards the end of League 2. I'm Grandmaster Matthew Sadler, and we are taking a look at an absolutely great bit of strategy from Koivisto. So in this position, Koivisto and ClassicAra had been shuffling around for quite a long time. White's got a pretty nice position, really. The double pawns on c6 and c5 are a definite weakness. In particular, the pawn on a5 is a nice target for the bishop on d2. But black is pretty active, has got quite a bit of space, and it's not really easy for white to get the pieces organised properly. I mean, this knight might well want to be over on c4, but well, I mean, there's difficulties in actually getting that organised. What actually happened, though, was that ClassicAra ended up playing a little bit carelessly. Now, if you put this position on Give It to Stockfish or Revenge, those were the two engines I played my matches with, then h5 is being played straight away. And that's to clamp down on the king side, stop white from playing any sort of break like h5 and g4. Now, the position's still quite tricky, but of course, Stockfish as black was managing to defend reasonably okay with a little bit of activity. So for example, here Revenge was trying to maneuver its pieces, get its knight round to c4, maybe put the bishop on d2 afterwards, just to attack the pawn on a5, and c4 was being played by Stockfish, and you were seeing this in quite a few of the defensive games. You saw that Stockfish was playing very, very actively, and actually the nice thing about it is that giving up this pawn with c5 to c4 gives the black knight a fantastic opportunity to activate itself. And well, yeah, you know, Revenge tried to keep things together, but yeah, this very active defense by Stockfish was enough to get it the draw. Again, you know, I mean, it's always so noticeable that you know, the top engines like Stockfish, Leela, Komodo Dragon, you know, they always manage to find an active way to play positions, even when you really don't think there is one. What ClassicAra did was play King d7, which keeps the option of playing g5. I think this was why you know, ClassicAra did this, wanted to have some sort of option of creating some counterplay if white starts shuffling the pieces maybe towards the queen side. But this led to something rather painful, h5. And now ClassicAra really upped the ante. Maybe g takes h5 was the best, although queen f5, rook f8, queen e4 was extremely unpleasant for black. Yeah, I mean, we've got weak pawns to aim for, and suddenly, you know, the f4 pawn is passed as well. But ClassicAra played g5, and yeah, obviously hoping to get some pressure against f4. But this great move ensued, g4. Always love these moves where you you know, you just meet a pawn move like that with a break like this. I mean, obviously you're hoping to try and get rid of this f pawn in order to be able to advance the f pawn to f5. Well, f takes g4 played rook takes g4, and now there's some very interesting stuff here. In the game, ClassicAra played g takes f4. In my engine games, I saw knight f4, bishop f4, queen e6 from Revenge, which is quite a sneaky little idea, just attacking the rook on g4. But yeah, Stockfish played the lovely rook e4, you know, the absolute cleanest way of playing it. So just looking to play you know, bishop g3 or something like that, just getting the bishop safe. So queen takes g4, e6 check, king c8, and bishop e5. And this lovely little point is that it's a discovered attack on the queen and also an attack on the bishop on g7. As always, the tactical points continue, because after g4 it looks maybe a touch awkward for white, with the knight on f3 being chased away, and we've got possible checks like this. But bishop f8 was Stockfish's amazing idea, takes e7, and well, we've got the idea of going e8 queen afterwards. King b7, rook e5, queen h3, e8 queen, takes, and well, black didn't last very long after this. So yeah, I mean a lovely little game there from Stockfish against Revenge in my engine games. ClassicAra played GF takes. Rook to G1, Knight E6, Rook G6, Bishop G5. So, and this is quite you know, an interesting sort of moment really, and you know, there are probably many ways of for White to convert this position. I mean, White's sort of blown up the position, really got a good entry point for the for its rook. It's you know, held in for the moment. You can't go to G7 because of the knight on E6, but obviously, you know, there is stuff like Queen F5 as well. You can put extra pressure on, but it's not there. You know, it's not 100% there yet. Now, yeah, in my matches between Stockfish and Revenge, both Revenge and Stockfish were sort of going for the you know, the quick option really. So, for example, in this position, Revenge was playing Knight takes G5 and Queen F5. And then Bishop takes A5, and yeah, actually just creating passed pawns on both sides. And this is perfectly good, perfectly gorgeous, and well, Revenge was beating Stockfish, so there can't be much wrong with that. But what Koivisto does is really actually quite amazing, quite human almost, and yeah, incredibly deep strategically. Koivisto just played King E7 and then King E2, and I wonder if you can see what he's going to be doing. Yeah, just King D1. Just basically, you know, Koivisto is thinking, well, I'm going to play a move like Knight takes G5. What would be ideal in that position? I mean, if I've got my king on E2, I always need to watch out for checks. So let's put the king all the way over to safety, all the way over to A2. We'll put the bishop on D2, and now we're going to play Knight takes G5. And well, when we play this move H6 now, the white king's completely safe, no checks. It's just going to be completely finished. And well, ClassicAra kept on trying, but this turned out to be basically too much to deal with. And a few moves later, some killing checks, and it was all completely over. White a rook up, and the rook moving away, and the pawn going to queen. So a really lovely little thing there. But as I said, I just love this idea of, you know, how do you convert it? And well, you know, my engines, Revenge, Stockfish, you know, they just calculated the win, they went for it. But yeah, Koivisto just elected to put its king completely safe. Really a very human way of playing. Good strategical human way of playing, and then only going for the finish. Really lovely stuff from Koivisto, and yeah, really looking forward to see how it does in League One.